I have a message for you, and it's about how do we bounce back from failure. You know, nobody wakes up in the morning and thinks, oh my goodness, I've really failed at this whole life thing. You know, no one actually does that. But what we do want to do is wake up and accept that we have a dream about being successful, about being loved, about freedom from our anxiety, our stress, and our past trauma. Because when we dream, we actually feel like we're achieving that. You know, we know what we want to have. But, you know, the life we build for our families and our holidays, our experiences, our adventures, everything that we could have along the way. And I think for some people, it's the legacy that they want to leave behind, the impact that they want to have for themselves, on others, and on even total strangers, because they're too afraid to fail and they've never really attempted to fly. We get stuck on takeoff. We get stuck before we actually start to take off. And then it comes down to what we make failure mean to us. And this is my main message for you today is, you know, what you make mistakes mean for you. And I think that's what's so important, because the truth is most people really aren't afraid of failure itself. When I speak to people, they're like, I don't mind failure. I don't mind failing. But what we do is we're afraid of the judgment that we use on ourselves and from the judgment of the people that we care most about. How will they judge us because of what we've done? Most people are afraid of feeling like they are a failure. It's the feeling of loss, of inadequacy, of, you know, not being anything. It's not actually the situation that they fear. It's the feeling that they feel. And in trauma recovery therapy, in anxiety and stress, it's the feelings that we have about a specific event or something that's happened in our past. Now, in order for us not to fear failure, we have to look at what mistakes we're making and what does it mean to us? What does those mistakes mean to us? And, you know, before you feed yourself the negativity, we need to consider all successes are just revised mistakes. So everything that we do is a revision of a mistake that we have made in our past life. How often do we think back to when we were very young and we think, well, I did that and I'll never make that mistake again. But actually, the older we get, we stop applying that knowledge to ourselves. You know, mistakes are essential for our success. If we don't make those mistakes, we aren't going to succeed. Now, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people really is that they are willing to suck it up first, make the mistake without making it mean anything. And that's the really difficult bit. How do we make failure mean little to us or mean nothing to us? Because actually, we have the big wins. And if we have those big wins, we will also be willing to suck it up. So before we become great, we must accept that we actually need to, or we will make mistakes. So there are a few things or a few steps that to making mistakes faster. So first of all, decide which mistakes are actually a gift and are essential for your success. So which mistakes are a gift and are essential for success. Find and identify each of those mistakes and those gifts that you get. So where am I likely to make mistakes? Where am I likely to make difficult decisions? Apply what you've learned. So take the information that you give yourself really, and then adjust it every time you use it. So if you think to yourself, I know that I'm going to make a mistake here, I'm probably going to make this mistake, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go, but then take that, align it, and create new expectations, create new results for yourself. And the truth is that the only way to fail is to not learn from your mistake, because when you do this, you are failing to progress. You're just failing to stop yourself. Now, I want you to take one action today. What one failure can you think of that was actually a gift to you? What one failure can you think of that if you think back to it now was actually a gift, and that now that you know that, you've built your success on it? It might be relationships, it might be how we feel. It might be connecting with our emotions. It might be mistakes we've made in dealing with our past trauma. For those of you that are new to the group, I work and specialize in trauma recovery and PTSD, etc., etc. So actually, what can we do, and how can we use our failure and transfer those into mistakes? So I hope you've enjoyed my live today. I will hopefully go live again tomorrow afternoon. There are going to be some really big updates. I've been a bit quiet in the group recently because we've been building the group, because I've been listening to you. I have taken on board the messages that I get. I get loads and loads of messages every day about improvements to the group, what you need. Thank you for all those amazing messages from the women that take part in this group and that comment. Also, please look at the polls that are coming out, because in January, we're going to have a very structured approach. And tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to take you through the new structure of the Anxiety Recovery School from January and what you will be able to access. I've listened to your comments, I've listened to what you've wanted, and I'm now structuring the group so that there is a lot more access for you. There will still be our monthly workshop. I'm going to announce that tomorrow afternoon. I have an amazing coach coming to speak to us on the 22nd of November at 7 p.m. UK time, and that is a trauma specific workshop. And then in January, there are going to be specific dates, specific stuff happening where you're able to book onto and access the help that you need. And I've made sure that now happens and becomes a reality. But have an amazing Thursday. And I hope that the video today on how to overcome failure has rung home. Have a fantastic time. Bye.